Hi, my name is Daria. I'm a personal branding coach, and welcome to my channel. Today, we will do an Instagram audit for Nicole, who is a social media marketing manager living here in Canada. So, let's go. Today, we will do an audit for Nicole. Nicole is a self employed social media marketing manager. And earlier with me, she shared that she's not really sure if she, for her own Instagram presence, she wants to explore more of a social media management route, or she wants to explore an influencer and content creator route because she's kind of passionate about both. And I feel like it's such a common topic when it comes to social media managers, because you already know about so much stuff when it comes to marketing, and it's kind of becomes a second nature to you, but you're not really sure which way you want to go for. So this is a perfect example of that. And I absolutely love Nicole. She is super sweet. We did a couple of coaching sessions and she's absolutely fantastic. So if you're looking for any social media management services in Alberta, make sure that you reach out to her. So we're gonna start with a profile image. I love this image because you can clearly see her face. You can know what she looks like even before you're gonna scroll down to any of the content. However, I feel like this image is a little bit blurrier than I would have liked. So I feel like for the profile image recommendation would be to bring it up a little bit more, maybe have a more updated photo, because I know that her hair is a little bit longer now than the one she has on the image. So would definitely love to see that. And then when I look at this profile image a little bit way too long, I notice that there is a car and then there is other stuff that is happening, and it kind of drives my eye away. However, remember that we are reviewing it on a laptop, and it might be not be the same experience on a phone, because when we are looking at somebody's profile on a phone, especially when we are searching on like the story step, that image will be like so small. But what it works for the story step is that she has a very great contrast between her background and herself. So she, in the outfit that she's in, it comes up immediately. So love it. But there could be some improvements to that as well. Her username as absolutely perfect. You can very clearly remember and type it in. Super nice, absolutely clear. When you're using and choosing your username, make sure that it's not like, I don't know, like Daria, and then there are like 700 numbers coming up right after that, because it can be very confusing. And if somebody tries to search you and type you in, if your name it's very hard to come up, or if your username is like 10 different numbers or 10 different dots, make sure that it's just easier for your user. So Nicole Constante, absolutely perfect, very easy to remember, very easy to type it. However, on this first line, this is something that comes up when you're searching for someone, because, well, for example, if you're looking for a nails provider in Vancouver, or you're looking for a makeup artist in Vancouver, that would be the perfect area to put it, because this is the keywords and this is the first thing that comes up. So for Nicole, for example, if she wants to explore a social media marketing route, typing in social media marketing manager in, I think she's in Calgary, that would be the perfect way. Or if she wants to explore a lifestyle influencer route, lifestyle influencer in Calgary, awesome, absolutely perfect. So let's just utilize this real estate, because this is something that does come up, especially when we are searching for someone here. So that would be an absolutely perfect way for you to come up in somebody's search a little bit more. So let's talk about this profile description. In my soft entrepreneur era, travel cafes, wellness, food, books, UGC, life as a marketing girly, work with me. So this description is kind of in between her goals. She does want to explore this lifestyle influencer route, and for her to be more of like a content creator, but there is also social media management. And the problem is, this bio doesn't work for either of them. If she wants to go into social media marketing route, it could be social media marketing manager. I help personal brands go viral on Instagram, like something like that, something that would tell her potential client immediately
hey, I know what your problem is and I can help you solve it. Or if she wants to explore a lifestyle influencer route, she can also share like what people can expect on her, with her content, with her stories, all of this stuff like that. So that could also be a really good real estate. And with bios and with your overall brand positioning, you will never come up with something until you will figure out for yourself what your end goal is, and like where would you like to go, what route do you want to explore, how do you want to be known as. If you want to be known as a social media marketing manager and the best social media marketing manager in your area, your entire social media presence needs to be around that. If you want to be only about lifestyle influencer content creation, this is absolutely perfect, but your brand positioning needs to be around that as well. The CTA work with me unfortunately doesn't really work, because just looking at the bio, just looking at the highlights, just looking a little bit here, we don't really have an understanding what she does and what kind of services she provides. And for us to be like, yes, let's work together, it's not really enough context. Like, we kind of know that she's a marketing girly, but there is so many stuff in marketing that one can do, that just saying marketing, it's not really gonna cut it. I know that she primarily specializes in social media marketing, so that should be her ideal CTA. And when we click on here, the very first thing that we go to this kind of like link in bio page, and we can see work with me, and it's a discovery form for us as her potential follower. And remember that we are just exploring and reviewing her page as someone who just stumbled upon her profile for the very first time, and we have no context whatsoever who is she and what she does. For us to be going to the discovery form, it's a little bit like on a first date deciding to get engaged right there, right now. It's a little bit too extreme. Like, we need some warming up process. We need some like flirting. We need some flowers being delivered and stuff. So here we need her to actually tell us what she does. Maybe as her landing page, we can review her services and learn about what she does. Maybe we can review her case studies. If she wants to do a social media marketing route, if she wants to do an influencer route, that would be a completely different strategy. And this is not like, you don't necessarily need like a type form or anything like that. Maybe your CTA could be to review your media kit if you're UGC content creator, anything like that. But having a type form and a landing page, it works great when you're a service provider. An ideal funnel for Nicole would be to have some kind of freebie. Like, for example, depending on who her clients are, if her clients are personal brands and they're service providers, and then she helps them edit videos, she helps them come up with social media strategy for service providers in Calgary, she can provide them with a freebie with, I don't know, like a checklist of everything that they need to know. Maybe another freebie would be a template, and then another freebie would be something like that. So she provides them options with different freebies so they can get an insight on what it's like to work with her. Next, maybe she has I don't know, like a one-on-one discovery call if she wants to sign up people for like big services, or if she wants to go in a like a coaching consulting route, she can do like a one-on-one sessions options, or she can do multiple sessions at the same time, or if there is like a group coaching or any stuff like that, we would love to see that on her page as well, because people immediately, unfortunately, they need to know what you do and in what kind of bucket they need to put you in. And it's not necessarily that putting you in a bucket is bad. It's just for us, for people who are not living inside of your brain, it's much easier to categorize you in one thing over another and be like, oh yeah, I know Nicole, she's a social media manager, let me grab her real quick. That's much easier. And when you confuse people with having multiple stuff happening at the same time, unfortunately people will not follow, because confused people, they don't follow, and confused people, they don't buy as well. which of course sucks, but it's on you to be able to tell a person what they need to think about you and what kind of bucket you kind of fallen in here. So that's for the bio. Next, moving on. One of the first things that your potential follower will review is your highlights. Whether you like it or not, your person will go to your highlights. So your highlights, they must be always updated. I don't want to see a highlight that was posted in 2018. That's absolutely not a vibe. So make sure that you update your highlights regularly, and then you have the highlights with the information that will be relevant to your potential follower. And that would be beneficial for you to promote. Maybe you have a service, maybe you have a digital product, anything like that that will actually help you rather than drive away attention to something else. Her highlights have a story that tells about her, but not about the marketing business that she built. So this highlights would work great if she's a lifestyle influencer. If she's exploring a social media marketing route, she would need to change the highlights. Maybe she can do my story, or like start here highlight explaining how she became a social media marketing manager, and tells like her overall story just to build this emotional connection with her potential followers. Maybe she can do an offer highlight and offer number one, where she tells about service number one that she does and shares the results that she brought to her clients. Maybe another one would be where she tells like a very interesting story, or she like busts some kind of myth that it comes to, when it comes to social media management, that she previously told on her stories, and she wants other people to know about that story as well. But right now, this is good lifestyle highlights, but they don't convert her potential clients into her followers, and then later in her clients as well. So as a normal potential follower, you would like check the very first thing. And here we see like a gym girly, all of this stuff happening where like she shares about like when she goes to the gym. So it's not a bad highlight. It's like I can see all of the stuff that she's doing, I can see what she's creating, but I want your highlights to have a purpose. I want you to ask yourself why you're putting this as in a highlight, and why not just like keeping it in a story. What do you want people to feel, and what do you want people to know when they interact with this highlight, and what is the key takeaway? Key takeaway after they're done reviewing that highlight. What do you want people to know? Right now, when I'm looking at her gym girly highlight, the only thing that I know is that she goes to the gym. But what does this information does for me in relation to her social media marketing service, or to her lifestyle influencer route as well? Uh, Same for this highlight. This highlight is very small. It only has 2 slides. So for me, again, I don't really understand, as her potential follower, what was the point here? What is she trying to build? Because any conversation about finance, believe me, it performs so well whenever you talk about money, whenever you talk about budgeting, whenever you talk about how to save or how to make more money. People are invested into that. But in order for that to happen, you need to tell a story. Just sharing a screenshot of just a breakdown of your budget is not really telling a story. And Nicole is a really good storyteller. She knows how to actually tell big stories with her content. But with this highlight, unfortunately, we haven't seen the story. So as a potential follower, I would go on that page and be like, well, absolutely nothing happened. I'm not connected to emotionally to the story. I didn't learn anything new about her or about the niche that she's operating. So I would probably drop out of those highlights. So again, for highlights, let's either position it for social media marketing services or as a lifestyle influencer, but you need to have clarity about what you're trying to build and clarity about your goals as well. 3 pinned posts. This one, a day in a life. I honestly, I love it. It showed her throughout the day is what she's operating, how she's working, and it relates pretty good to her social media marketing services while also tapping into her lifestyle as well. So I love this a day in a life. This favorite question prompts for my weekly reflection. I am 100%, if you know me, I'm a journaling girly. However, this works great for a lifestyle influencer if we want to build a social media presence as a social media marketer. We need to build a social media presence as a social media marketer, and you need to position yourself as such. Maybe you can share about, I don't know, any kind of results that you got to your clients. Maybe you can share an insight of what it was like working with you. Maybe you can share your story in relations to your niche and how you build your social media presence and stuff like that. Just ensuring that these three posts, they first of all give an opportunity for people to learn more about you and what you do, and also provide this emotional connection where people are like, okay, I know about her now, I am more invested to learn even more about her. So this is a very expensive real estate, because your potential follower will look at you here, look here, check the highlights, look at the stream pin post, and if there wasn't something that hooked them in, if there wasn't something that made them stay, they're not gonna stay 100%. Let's look at the reels right now. So like naturally we would look at like first couple of reels. Well, first things first, this post was made over 7 weeks ago, so it's kind of a pretty big gap. So my, as a potential follower, I might think that this profile is not active anymore because it's been over almost 2 months now. So at this point, I'm like, well, is this still happening? Is this like still relevant? Or I might just decide and like leave the account right away because I'm like, well, nobody posted about here for 2 months. Luxuries in life, those are really nice luxuries in lives, and I absolutely love them, and I completely agree. However, they are good for lifestyle content. They don't do much for social media marketing. And if we will like slide down 3, 4, 5 reels really, really fast, we are not really able to grasp what her content is about, because here it's kind of setting systems for everything, girlhood, another shot, this one is a little bit more related to this one is a little bit more related to the social media marketing services. uh, this one kind of shows a trip. So I would, again, the problem with the content, and lots of problems with content strategy, and people are not sure how they want to position themselves. That all comes up when we are not sure about our goals and how we want to go and grow. That's the biggest problem. If we 100% in clarity and we know how we want to grow, if we know what we want to achieve with our social media, what kind of services we want to provide, what kind of offers we want to sell, how we want to monetize our social media presence, and what we want to focus on, when this part becomes clear for you to create the content that you are creating and building the stuff that you are building, that part becomes very, very easy and intuitive, because every single reels that you create is gonna be a small step towards that big goal, that big dream, one reel at a time. And when your overall goal and what you want to do and how you want to position yourself, it's kind of blurry and all over the place, your social media presence will also be blurry and a little bit all over the place, simply because if you are confused about your own goals, if you're confused about where you want to go with your social media, your audience will be confused as well. And again, confused people do not follow, and confused people do not buy. So even before we will do any kind of Instagram strategy, even before we will create any kind of profitable social media presence, you will first need to figure out what you want to do for yourself and which direction that you want to go. Because again, if you are unclear, your social media will be unclear as well, and your audience will be unclear as well. And there is no way they would book your services, book your sessions, buy your digital products if they don't know what you're selling and what your social media presence is about. For Nicole, if she wants to position herself as a social media marketing manager, a great way would be for us to understand exactly what she does. Maybe she helps small business owners to edit their reels. Maybe she helps them with creating their social media strategy. Maybe she creates content for them. There is, even within social media, there is such a big gap. There is such a big aspect of everything that you can do. So the more clarity we can provide, the better. And then position our entire profile as an authority in that problem that we are solving. So if we are positioning ourselves as a social media marketing manager with all of the stuff that we are doing here, you need to build an authority content. Maybe you are sharing about the past results that your clients have done, or how you solved a specific problem, and how exactly, what steps you took, what problems you face, what challenges you face, and how you solved it, for people to know, hey, she knows her stuff, she knows and understand what she's done, and she's done it already for somebody else, so she can do it for me as well, and so she can solve this problem for me as well. We can do some kind of, maybe I shared in earlier, we can do some kind of freebies, some kind of, maybe we can do workshops. If there is a workshop or maybe a masterclass that she wants to sell or offer for free, that can be a part of her social media presence as well. And she can talk about each one of them in different highlights about what she's doing. We can have a separate landing page outlining her services, outlining how we can hire her, outlining any case studies that she's done, just so we can get more context into what she does and how she can help us solve the problems that she has. And with that, I would also, even if you are a social media marketing manager and that's your brand positioning, I would still love to learn about you, but in a relation to social media marketing. So having any kind of my story, highlight my story, pinned post, how you started, what it was like, maybe you experienced some kind of imposter syndrome, fears, anything like that, absolutely love it. Let's put it in here, because this way I know that you're a human, I'm a human as well. And no matter how successful you are, you started from somewhere, and that would be a part of also a great story for you to tell, and for me to build trust to you as a person instead of a credibility to you as an expert in your niche. So that was a short audit for Nicole, a social media marketing manager. If you want to book your own Instagram audit, make sure that you follow the link below and book a session for yourself. I would absolutely love to review your profile and provide you with recommendations on how you can increase conversion, get more followers, or more students, or whatever, or we can just figure out your goal together. Thank you.